we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million.
Nothing much to see here, just Amber getting the verdict that has put her in what seems like perpetual debt to Johnny. But what has been bothering a lot of people is why the Edward Sissorhands actor hasn't collected on the debt up till now. Well, the wait is over, as it has just been revealed how the actor plans to get his paycheck from her. And trust me, Depp is just as creative with solving his problems as he is with delivering stellar performances. Did I whet your appetite? Then stick around to get the full juice.
Stick around.
Considering that this was a sighting of the actress almost immediately after the trial, anyone would wonder why she still hasn't paid her ex-husband if she can afford to be flying in private jets. Well, looks like Johnny was just waiting for the right time to swoop in on her, and there's almost no way she could have seen this coming. So after the verdict was passed, a lot of people were excited that Johnny came out on top. But that excitement morphed into more and more questions about Amber actually making good on her debt and why Johnny had not taken any legal action to that effect. But you see, things are a bit more complicated than they may seem. And because of said complications, a lot of experts have taken a shine into that aspect of the case, which has now led to the exposure of how Amber would be paying. According to Andrea Burkhardt, in cases where parties are supposed to pay one another after a judgment is passed, the payment is usually based on the location the judgment was passed in. This implies that in the Depp Heard case, because neither of them seem to have any properties in Virginia, where the court that gave the verdict is situated, they are simply unable to collect anything immediately. But you see, even though the federal constitution of the U.S. basically states that the power of a state to act ends at its borders, in this case, there's a clause that changes the whole thing, and that is the full faith and credit clause, which means that the judgment in Virginia actually stands to apply in all states. So why then has Amber not paid? Well, since the actress doesn't actually have any known properties in the state of Virginia, the only other ways to collect are through the states where she actually owns properties or resides. And the fact that she just sold her house at Yucca Valley, California further complicates things. However, according to Burkhardt, California still remains the most likely place Johnny would be able to collect on her debt because it's the home of the studios where she worked, as in the case of Warner Bros., and we all know how royalties and residual income from these works are. Well, if you don't, actors basically get paid for their past work. So Johnny would normally be able to collect on it here, but you see, in the state of California, a court case isn't completely over until the appeal is over. So even though the verdict in favor of Johnny is respected on a national scale, he might still have to wait for the appeal to actually be able to proceed with legal actions on the debt. And besides that, Johnny did admit himself that it wasn't about the money for him, and that's probably why he's not been particularly hell-bent on getting paid.
This was never about money for Mr. Depp. So this was about restoring his reputation, and he's done that.
Anyway, this new perspective into things was a major eye-opener for a lot of fans, and many of them actually took to social media to talk about it. For some users, they wish he had collected a lot earlier, like this user who wrote, "Been dying to know this. I wanted him to start collecting to force her hand and post the 10.35 million plus interest. That would have dissuaded her from appealing if she didn't have it. If she did post it, then she couldn't cry I'm poor because she just deposited 10 plus million. Force her hand, JD. I mean, the user does have a point because if she couldn't afford an appeal, she'd probably have started losing her properties by now."
No. He's got a point.
We don't really know where things will go from here, but regardless, we'll find out soon enough. That's it for now, guys. I'll see you on the next one.